Sure.
Hi ladies, we're here for Ladies Let's Talk Biz Live. I'm here with Melissa Hall and myself, Shura Fuller. Now, Melissa is a lawyer, attorney in different countries, and she's also a wealth coach. Melissa, would you tell us a little bit about what you do, your businesses, and so that the ladies can learn a bit more about what you do and who you are?
Well, so happy to be, on this interview with you today, Sherelle. And I'm so happy that you're in the Bahamas.
I know.
The best place to be.
Exactly.
I mean, God lives in the Bahamas, we say. And so I'm really happy that you were able to come and spend some time with us during the holiday season.
That's right.
And so just to tell you a little bit about what I do, of course, you mentioned that I'm a wealth coach. I'm an attorney by profession. And so I do a lot of coaching, mentoring, and speaking. Those are the three key main areas that I focus on as it relates to empowering women. I also host a number of seminars or conferences to help women attract wealth and begin to start their businesses and to live the life that I believe that they truly deserve. And so I offer several coaching programs. I have a signature program that's 4 weeks, and it's called Distinctive Wealth Coaching for Women. It's a 4-week. We talk about attracting wealth, creating it, managing, and protecting it. And that's one of the things, we find, that's a challenge for women. Sometimes women need money in a hurry, whether it's, as a result of coming up through a divorce or injury or some kind of compromising situation. And so what I do is I help women grow the monies that they already have into wealth so that they are prepared for those unexpected events that may occur. And then of course so that they can be able to live a better, a more richer, a more rewarding and fulfilling life. Again, that's my signature program. I do have a mentorship program that I'm launching. It's called the Millionaires Mentorship Program that's going to be launched in January 2016. It's a 12-month program. One of the things persons have been asking me for is also mentorship.
Okay.
And if you want to get further faster, the best thing for you to do is to find a mentor who's done what you want to do. And so that's something that I also do. And of course, I do have another program, a VIP program for entrepreneurs. I know that one of the things that you do is that you help women in business as well, or get started in business. And so, whilst that may be a part of what I do, I also help them, with their branding, help them to get their idea into the marketplace, really finding ways for them to master the marketplace. So in a nutshell, that's what I do in terms of empowering women. But of course, apart from that, like you said, I am an attorney. I do have a private practice, and then I also do manage a multi-million-dollar corporation here in the Bahamas as well.
And you see, ladies and gentlemen, you see how humble she is. When she says that, that's what I like about Melissa. But another thing I was going to ask you, Melissa, what got you actually, started in your business journey?
Right. Well, one of the things that got me started in my business journey, in fact, is that I was working for an international offshore company, and they were closing down.
Okay.
And because I had excelled really well on that business, they offered me the opportunity to manage some of their international business companies. And at that time, I was really afraid because fear will take a grip of you when you're getting into business. I was so afraid. But after a while, I built up the confidence and I agreed to take over these companies. And then I started my law firm. Now, you and I talked about earlier, what got you into wanting to help women even in starting a business? And so at the time when I was about to start my business, I started to think about who can I go to? Where's the resource network for me as a woman stepping out into the business world, which we know or we understand to be a male-dominated business world. And I found it somewhat challenging because I didn't have another female that I could turn to, or a network or a resource center or somebody to help me get started, although I knew what the legal steps were to start a business, but there's a lot more to business than the legal aspects of things. And so as a result of that, having to go through that experience, I thought, well, this is definitely a need for my country. This is something that I can help women who enter the business world, who are desirous of entering into the business world, help them get started. And so one of the things I started to do in 2008 was to begin to have conferences where I would talk about getting started in business. I would have women from corporate backgrounds or entrepreneurs, share their experiences, tell their stories that will help to inspire the women and then also guide them in the right direction. And from there on, as I focused on business, I start to really begin to look more even into the wealth creation from a business aspect. And then I began to expand my horizons, because even when you get started in business, when you start to make the money, you want to know what to do with the money. Everybody wants to know, how can I grow my wealth? How can I protect it? And so eventually I started to focus more on wealth building.
Well, can we just, you've got this really amazing manual that you've got. What's the name of that manual as well, so people can tap into that?
Right, so I just created this manual. It's called the Millionaires 2016 Distinctive Wealth Vision Planner and Journal.
Excellent.
And so I have just released that about a week ago, and in that,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations for that,
Yeah, in that, I help women find their way or create a vision that's going to be profitable for them. And so even in the content of it, we look at how important it is for you to set goals, make sure you have a proper budget. I even have a financial to-do list in there. And there's so many strategies that I share within that planner. But it's really to help women hone in on what it is that they really want, so that they don't have to wander around aimlessly trying to achieve a successful life. If they follow this handbook or this planner or this guide, it will accelerate everything that they really want to do.
So ladies, you need to get that. Where can I pick up that, Melissa?
Well, yes, you can via Facebook for those of the international market. I do have a website as well. That's www.melisa, MELISA Hall, HALL, online.com. But I'm on Facebook. I'm pretty much on Facebook or all of the social media sites. You can look at Melisa Hall, and those are the ways that you can actually purchase that planner.
Excellent. So you need to be getting that, ladies.
Yeah.
So what about the people that say, they haven't got any money? Because, people always say that they haven't got any money, or like what we were talking about earlier, people afford what they want to afford.
Of course.
Sometimes they haven't got it. What could you say, give like a tip, like what they could do to maybe, so that they could maybe get that wealth creation,
Get their wealth, right. So for the woman who says that I don't have money, there are a couple of things that I would always say, and I use a biblical background. I don't know if many of you would have heard, of those of you who follow the Bible, about the widow's oil. And the prophet came to her, and she was in debt, so she didn't have any money. Her husband had died and left her a widow to pay all of the bills. And he asked her a question, so what do you have in your house? And so she says, I only have a jar of oil. And so he told her to go and get your jar of oil, and he says, go to your neighbors and borrow a few of their jars. And she was obedient. She went to her neighbors, and she began to pour the oil, and of course it multiplied. And it stopped when she stopped pouring the oil. And the fact of the matter, the point that I'm trying to make here, is that after that she was able to pay off her debt, and she was obviously profitable. But the point that I would say is that all of us have something. There is something. If you have to look within, first of all, to find some gift that you possess. That's the first thing I would say. There's something unique about you. There's something distinct about you. And whether it's, singing or speaking or, baking a cake, whatever it is, the first thing I would say, identify that gift and see how best you can convert that into some form of cash. Secondly, as it relates to the woman in the Bible, the widow's oil, one of the things that's so important, and I talk about this even when I coach during wealth, is the fact that you should have a network, relationships, build key relationships with people, because I believe that God has assigned somebody to help you get through So there's somebody that has something that can help you come into some form of cash. So it's important for you to look at the relationships that you have. Look at what you have in your home. Maybe there's something that you can sell, something that you probably don't want to let go of, but this thing can bring you money. It could be, you could have a garage sale. You know, you could have some shoes you sell, some clothes, whatever it is, and then you begin that process of building and creating more, and you begin to turn over that money. So, you know, those are three things. I would say kind of, you know, make sure that you have a really good network of women. Connect with people like yourself who are connected to so many women. You just don't know what opportunities can avail themselves because you're just simply connected. I talk about that in my book that's coming out next month. And then, of course, I would say look at what are your gifts, what are your talents, what is it that you possess that you can now use as a way of beginning to create wealth in the form of money. And then thirdly, of course, there's something that you may have in your home that you can sell. You know, even information today, you possess a lot of information today. Technology has been, I mean, one of the key ways for people to learn and grow wealth. Create something. Create an, you know, some informational product. Put it together. Put it on sale. You know, and then you can begin to build wealth in that way.
But your book, you mentioned that as well. What's that actually called? Because you know, I know that's going to have loads of nuggets in there for people.
Of course, yes. My book that's coming out in 2016, next month, is called 10 Winning Strategies to Attract the Wealth You Want. And it's called The Professionpreneur's Edge. And of course, the professionpreneur, the word professionpreneur is a word that I created. And I explain what that is in my book. But the point of the matter is, in this book, I talk about 10 winning strategies that you can use to attract wealth into your life. And so sometimes, you know, people become blessed or prosperous because they attracted it into their lives, either by the way they look, either by having a vision, by relationships. So I give 10 of the key strategies that I believe every woman, and even a man could use it as well, should implement in their lives, and then they will begin to see wealth become attracted to them. Of course, to take it to the next step further, you're going to have to do some coaching with me, because then I'm going to help you to now create, manage, and protect it. And so this is like my first published book. I do have some ebooks. I have an ebook that's called Activate Your Wealth Potential. You love that, right? Yeah. So that's on my website as well. But again, all of this information is about building wealth, but just knowing that wealth is not just about money.
So, like you say, like those ladies, just because you're in the Bahamas, that doesn't stop you from like coaching people all over the world. Would you?
Most definitely not.
Okay.
In fact, I just finished a coaching session last month where I coached women in Atlanta, North Carolina, New York. And so the fact that there's global technology available today, I can coach from anywhere. And listen, these women have had such amazing results because there's so much more opportunities available to them. And so it does not prevent me from coaching anywhere in the world.
Yeah, so you think, you see ladies, you can have a coach for your wealth, you could have a coach for your lifestyle, you can have a coach for anything. But I think this wealth one is something you all need to hook up with. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But just before we end up and wind up now, like, you know, the Bahamas is a great place to come, and people are, you know, they want to come here and invest.
Of course.
Is there anything that any nuggets you could give us, people that are interested in coming here to do business or?
Right. Well, yeah, of course. I consider the Bahamas one of the best places for you to invest, and of course I'm being biased. But of course, everyone knows that we're a tax haven, although there are some new requirements through the U.S. that we need to comply with. However, the fact of the matter is that investing in the Bahamas, especially in the area of real estate, again, is one way for you to kind of connect and have an income coming in. So we have like something we call investment condominiums, where you can purchase a condominium and get a certain amount of income over a period of time. Again, we have international business companies where you could set up your business here in the Bahamas, save on taxes, and so there's so many things. There are also investment vehicles like setting up a trust here that you can use in terms of building wealth. And so we have so many options available for you, mutual funds. But again, this is, the financial services industry is one of our second industry that besides tourism. So that speaks volume of what you can do in terms of investing in the Bahamas. And I encourage women from all around the world to, consider the Bahamas as a place for you to begin to build wealth globally.
So, because you said that you are a lawyer attorney as well. If anybody wanted to connect with you through your practice, could you tell us what it's called? Obviously, I know, but so that for people that don't know what it's called.
Well,
and so forth.
yeah, my law firm is named after me. It's Melissa Hall & Co. Law Chambers. And again, if they go to my website, the link for my law firm is there.
Excellent. So, ladies, if you want to get involved with what's going on out here in the Bahamas, connect with Melissa. The people are lovely. The food is gorgeous, and like I say, it's very safe here, and it's about making next year doing something different. So I encourage you, and thank you, Melissa, for allowing me to interview you, and to the next time we're back in the Bahamas.
Yes, I'm looking forward to having you back in the Bahamas, Sherelle.
I'll be here.
Yes.
I need to connect and find out what's going on here.
Yes.
So I need one of those yachts.
Yes.